You know, if my dog was as ugly as you, I'd shave his butt and tell him to walk backwards.
Welcome to Black Irish Podcast. Hey there, and welcome to an all-new episode of Black Irish Podcast with myself, Brendan McCorkle, and Mike. We'll find out if he's shaved Crawford. What's up, buddy boy? How you doing?
What's going on, my guy? And I had the same mindset to not waste anyone's time. No, I'm not shaved. So we can just go ahead and kill that.
Yeah,
But
we'll go ahead.
the benefit to that is I still have a week.
Yeah. I mean, your hair's shorter on your head, so you know how to trim hair. It's just your welching days continue, but we'll get to that later. Let's get to...
I don't know how to trim hair, and it's nothing to get to. I told the world I don't, but I just have to have it done before our game so I can bet my name back. That's all.
Yeah.
This week I get to kick someone else in your family's butt, and then I'll be shaved and ready for next week's game.
Yeah. We'll talk about your fantasy life later. But right now, I want to ask you something. Because I was just in your neighborhood, your neck of the woods, and mine's obviously a little bit different. I live directly next to a school, and there's like 75 schools within like a 2-mile radius of where I live. But parking and traffic since school's been back has been insane. Has it been the same with you?
I don't know about traffic. I don't really be in traffic often because I'm a home worker for the most part. 2 days a week I go to work, but I use the HOV lane. So yeah, I don't really deal with traffic. But parking is usually insane when you like in areas near the schools and stuff. It's usually crazy. I ride past schools and stuff on the way to work, and it'd be like people just and then trying to it's like y'all are interwoven. So when people try to come and go at the same time, it'd be crazy.
Yeah, there's usually like an
wish that on
entire
nobody.
lane of cars next to the parked lane of cars, and it's just parents like, yeah, I don't care. What are you gonna ticket all of us? It's just like everybody in solidarity is like breaking the rules. Like, no, we don't care. We're blocking this lane.
Oh no, all types of rules get broken at school. Pick up and
It's
drop
crazy
off every
too.
morning.
It's like,
Yeah.
hey, we're gonna go. We need to go take you to a place where you're gonna learn how to do things properly. Let's start your day off by breaking all these traffic laws and showing you the wrong way to do stuff and be late. Get your shit together, parents. Listen, I'm a late parent all the time. You know, I got 2 boys. Like every child you
Which means
have
you should never
makes
be
you
late. You have
10
boys,
minutes later
not
than you
girls.
want to be. You need
Oh, okay.
10 minutes
Okay.
you need to add for every kid. And dude, but seriously, like I told you a couple weeks ago, like the start of school, I'm gonna give these fools a little bit of time. I came home the other day and it was Friday, I think, was coming home, and my wife and I were coming home separately, but we're gonna come land at the house at about the same time in the afternoon. And I come home and my first driveway, because I live on the corner, I have one of those round out driveways that has like one entry, one exit, or whatever. Use it as you
Bro,
please.
our listeners know where you live by now.
Yeah, they better
Don't
not,
worry.
hopefully. But that being said, one was completely blocked. Like my my sedan is completely blocking your thing, but I have my hazards on. Like that makes a difference. Like I just want to go up and like bash their lights out and go, "Oh, sorry. It was an emergency. In an emergency, you're supposed to smash the glass." I don't know. I don't know what to do. So sorry. But then on the back end, it was like somebody parked by a fire hydrant and the stop sign, and their like tail end is blocking the driveway. So I couldn't get in either driveway. And I'm like, okay, I got to park in one side. And then my wife still has to pull in the other side. So I was like, okay, all right. So I pulled behind the one that parked egregiously, just straight up parked because there's red behind my driveway entry because there's a fire hydrant on the corner. And one person parked in that thing and tried to get up as close to not block the driveway, but they did. The other person was like, I don't want to park in the red. I'm going to block the driveway. So I pulled up to where like my front bumper sensor was like, because I didn't want them to leave. I didn't want them to be able to leave without seeing me. So I, lock the door, go inside. And I'm kind of like half looking out the door, wait to see. Because I just want to see who it is. I don't care who it is. I'm about to have a conversation with this person. And both these people, actually. But the one person I got to keep an eye on so they don't ding my car trying to, like, Austin Powers get out of here. So I see it's some, lady walking through. It's a nicer sedan car. Some lady walking her kid back. And I'm just like, no. I'm going to say this to you in front of your kids. Like, you're going to be embarrassed on the way home. You're going to be like, guess what mommy did today? Or somebody yelled at mommy and be like, no, I didn't yell. I just walked up and was like, hey, excuse me. I can't have you blocking the driveway. Like, I know there's two, but guess what? Somebody else did it too. And I have another vehicle coming. Like, it's just rude. Shouldn't be done. She's like, I know, I'm sorry, 5 minutes. And I was like, I understand it's 5 minutes, but it shouldn't matter. Please don't ever do it again. And she was just kind of like staring at me. And I'm like, this is my car. I'll move it just as long as we understand, like, just please don't do it again. And her daughter's kind of like staring at her like, are you going to answer this, man? And she's just like, okay, sorry. I was just like, okay, thank you very much. And like, hopefully it never happens again. But I'll say that shit to you in front of your kid because, like, listen, I get held to task all the time by my children. So I know if I say something to you in front of your kid, they're going to make it stick. And I do it in a way that's, same with my kids. Firm, but polite. Just like, do not do this. But we were just talking right before we started recording here. And we were talking something about going to jail for murder or something like that. Like, I don't even know how. And yeah, we were talking about killing somebody. I was like, oh yeah, no, I don't want to like kill somebody and go to jail, but like I would definitely
if you could get away with
if
it.
I could get away with it, like and it's like hands clean type of deal, like for sure, like just the thought of actually going through the process of killing somebody, like yeah, I'd do that for sure.
So to the person that he would want to kill, stay away from him, please.
No,
clearly,
I don't.
There's some animosity towards you that if he could get away with it, he would kill you.
Would you?
We don't know who you are,
I'm
but
not a bad dude.
That doesn't make you a bad dude. I'm pretty sure if you walk in a room of 10 people, there are 7 people in there that
listen.
want to kill
I don't
somebody.
want anybody to die necessarily, and I don't want to kill anybody. I'm just saying, if there was like a weird thing where there was like a scientific. Okay, hang on. Let's scenario this, brother man. So if there's a scenario where government somebody clones a person, like they're already out there somewhere, but they did one and it's like, hey, this isn't a real person, but it doesn't have any like robot parts in it. It's a person, but it's like we did it wrong and it just needs to be slaughtered. And they're like, we're going to do it anyway because we want to see like if there's a proper way that we could kill somebody that's less expensive and more the organic way to kill somebody, so we're not spending all this money on like injecting people or lethal injections and things. We could just, and it would be like, okay, you have to kill, somebody's got to kill this person and we have a certain way we want you to, like put this ice pick through the back of their neck. Like if we want to see if this spot is the spot, it's like, I'll be the guy that does that. Yeah. I want to be able to know how I would feel in that process. It might ruin my life forever, but I would want to know. I'm a searcher of knowledge. I want to know how I would feel after something like that. Okay. If there were no real consequences and nobody really got hurt, if it was just like a meat body, I'm like, yeah, well, shove that thing.
Alrighty, my guy.
I don't know. Like you would never they made the movie. The movie Hostel was popular for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like people are curious about how far they could go. I never watched that movie because I think it's incredibly weird and gross. However, it was popular for a reason. So I'm not like 7,000 light years off on this one, like you're saying, Mister. I
I
have a
don't think
gun. You piece
I
of shit,
mean,
making me feel like an asshole. You're walking
because
around with
I'll
a
happily kill somebody if I have
weapon.
to.
See, exactly. You said happily. I didn't say happily. I said I'd be interested. And
Because in a
I'm the
have-to
weirdo in this
situation,
conversation.
because in a have to situation, it is my life or their life. You
What if
literally
this
told me
clone
off camera
is
that
coming at me?
you would kill somebody if you could. You didn't break all this clone stuff down when we were talking. I made a comment about you wanting to kill somebody. You said, no, I don't want to kill anybody, but I would if I could get away with it. That was the conversation. We
I
were
don't
talking
think
about
that's the way I said
or-
it. I don't
That
think that's
is
the way I said it.
that is exactly how you said it.
I don't
And I replied with,
agree with you.
that is a bit
I think that
more
I
scary
merely
than
was
wanting to just kill somebody.
projecting that I would be okay with finding out how I would feel in that scenario.
Now you explain it that way, but that is not what you said initially. It was a quick.
I'm a
I
verbal
would do it if I
processor.
was
That's
clean.
why sometimes this shit sounds
If
sideways.
it was clean. So,
Oh, speaking
in
of
that
not
moment-
understanding what's going on, do you know what acronyms are?
Yeah,
Okay. Well, I mean, some people don't, you know.
like cream.
Yeah. So do you know what FUPA is?
What?
Do you know what a FUPA is? Is that an acronym
Yeah.
or is it a word? What is that?
It's a FUPA is an acronym.
What is the acronym of FUPA? I
See,
think I
the
know, but
whole-
I don't know for sure, so I want to see what you
I've heard somebody say it on like some movie or something, but it doesn't make sense because the second word is a U.
Okay,
Like,
see,
FUPA
this
is
is
spelled
where I'm at,
FUPA.
same pager. Okay, so say what it is.
And they said the fat over pussy area.
Yeah,
But
but
that
what's
would mean-
FUPA?
That's what mean the O. That would mean you would need an O.
Right.
Yes.
Because
so I don't understand.
technically it would
Didn't make
be
no sense to me.
FOPA.
There you go.
Like an Italian, like, you FOPA. Or like a Jewish, like,
Mhm.
FOPA.
I don't know
An
Italian or
exciting
Jewish, so
something.
But
Yeah, so
It
then
always
FUPA would
baffled
be
me when I
fat
heard that.
under pussy area. Isn't that just your taint? Right?
so I guess she has a fat taint.
Right? No, hang on. Like, fat under pussy. I'm like, yeah, if I had fat under balls, that's just like you blew up the slip and slide too much on your taint. Like, it's just you got ripples everywhere. You got a fat taint.
Yeah,
Fat
no,
under
I've heard
pussy
it.
area.
I've heard it. It's fat over pussy area. I guess they
Yeah,
spell
it doesn't
FUPA
make
with the
sense.
O and calls it FUPA.
That's what some people
Oh,
call
no.
a muffin top, but a muffin top, everybody knows, is when the pubic hair comes out the top of your waistline and it looks like a muffin top. I don't know why
Look,
you don't.
The pubic hair come out of the top of your underwear.
Yes.
Makes a. That's not a muffin top. Muffin top.
Yes, it is. I've explained this to you before, and you just because you live on the other side of the country, like there's different vernaculars on different sides and stuff. But I think you're misunderstanding what a muffin top is.
No, no. We call a muffin top a person with a.
Do you like muffins?
Yeah,
Yeah.
blueberry.
Okay. Do you eat the muffin top or bottom first?
I eat it all. Like
You can't
just
eat
a
it all at
bite.
the same time, Michael.
Why can't you? You just
Because
take a
you
bite
yell
of
at
the
me for
muffin.
eating cupcakes in 2 bites. So you must have.
Exactly.
How many bites does it take you to get through a muffin? Don't fight me on this too
About
hard.
4.
Okay, so do you start
But
at
a
the
muffin
base?
is
Do you
bigger
start at
than
the
a
top,
cupcake.
or do you get 4 equal
I
bites?
bite like you bite a cupcake. I bite a muffin, bro.
Okay, top to
Leave
bottom
them.
equal 50-50.
Duh, Brendan. How
No,
else
not
do you
duh,
take a bite?
motherfucker. No.
How do you take a bite out of something, bro?
You could turn it one way or another. It's like you could turn it sideways if you want, ding dong.
Nah.
Yeah, you can. But the top of the muffin is the cloud, the muffin cloud, as we like to call it around here.
The cloud?
Yeah, the muffin cloud. That's the real cloud, the muffin cloud. And so basically what I like to do is, since the base is more dense, obviously, you just twist that little baby off and then eat that first. That way you get the light and fluffy. I always like to save the best bite for the last bite. that's how I like to eat all my meals. That's what I encourage. Like if we're out to dinner and I'm eating with my wife or whatever, and I finish my meal, and she's like, I always finish first because I'm an animal. And so if I finish first and then she's like, hey, do you want a bite of this? Even if I've had a bite because we share whatever, like, oh, let me try yours, you try mine, blah, blah, blah. I don't know why the Aflac duck was at our dinner date, but I won't take the bite because I'm like, no, because then that'll be the last thing I taste. And she's always kind of like looks at me a little sideways, like, really, dude? But I'm like, yeah, no, like, this is, to me, eating
really,
is an
dude.
experience for the most
It's
part.
just food,
Especially, no, excuse me, it's not just food.
What is it?
No, maybe to you.
It's like some dead animal from somewhere that you're just eating, bro.
If that's the case, then why don't you eat healthy? Because it's just food.
Because healthy isn't dead animals. I needed meat. Pause. But, like,
eat chicken.
what are you talking about? I eat chicken.
No,
I eat a lot of chicken.
But
I'm
if
black,
if
bro.
it's just food, eat like plain chicken. Don't worry about the flavor. It's just food, Mike. It's not an experience. You don't need to experience good
I don't
tasting
need to
things.
experience
Why
it,
do
but
you
it's
listen
still
to
gotta
music,
taste
Mike?
good.
It's just noise. You
It ain't
ding
just noise,
dong.
it's music. It has a message. People are saying stuff. Like, what are you talking about, Brendan?
You're a food experience. You're trying to show something. You're trying to take somebody and transport them. Whether
I'm
it
not.
be,
You think I'd be like, I take a
oh,
bite and I'd be
I'm
like,
not ever gonna cook for you again. You talk like this to me.
man, this shit is good. I'm gonna eat it. You want to know how you know it's good? If I finish the plate.
Finger
If I
licking
don't eat all
good.
your food, then guess what? That shit was trash. Otherwise, you think I'm just tasting for flavors? You be like, oh man, he used cumin in this. Like, yeah, right.
Oh my gosh, Mike.
For
For somebody that
oh
eats a
my
lot, you sure
goodness.
do not appreciate the time and
Oh my
patience it
goodness.
takes for good food to be made.
The amount of paprika. Fuck that, Brenda.
Oh, see, I enjoy that. See, I enjoy that part of it. I enjoy that part of it. And I enjoy the cooking part of it. I enjoy experiencing, like, hey, man, you know,
I don't cook.
I
You
don't know
don't
what
cook.
it's like to go to Italy, so let me eat some faux Italy pasta that they're making in, you know, Los Angeles somewhere. But if
One
it's
day you'll be
good,
rich
it's like,
enough to go
okay,
to
you're telling a
Italy.
story about, like, the person that owns its grandparents used to like pasta. It's usually irrelevant why they ended up opening a restaurant, but it's like, hey, they have some connection to it and they love it. And then now you get to eat this delicious food. So there's some transportation there. Or somebody that's a chef from a certain region, you
If
can
their
go to their.
grandparents didn't love pasta, would you be eating something? Would you just get up and leave? Like if you walk into a
I'm
restaurant
just
and
saying
you're
that's
like, oh,
usually
I'm
the
here for the
inspiration for
experience,
stuff, you dick.
but there is no
You're just being
experience.
combative because you suck at life right now and
I'm
you're
just
mad at
asking.
me
I'm
because I
asking a
own
question.
you.
I'm asking questions.
Because
You
listen,
walk
I'll
in a
tell you what, when
restaurant
I cook,
and it's not an experience.
I like
Are
to
you going
take
just
people
like,
into my home. I like to cook what I like to serve people what I like to eat. I like to serve people what other people have taught me, what I've incorporated into my stuff. And it kind of tells a story because I like to cook and talk to you while I'm serving you. We listen to music, we do all this stuff. Like it's an experience when you eat at my house. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand that in a restaurant form. And for you to just blow it off and be like, yeah, I understand that point of view. It's just wrong. That's okay.
if you believe it's wrong, that's perfectly fine. You know what? Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Listen, man.
I'm there to enjoy what the food tastes like, not the experience. You ain't got to say nothing to me. Ain't got to be no
I get that.
backstory.
Listen,
I
I
don't
get
care if your
that. What the food
grandparents ever
tastes
ate
like.
pasta
But
in
what
their
I'm
life.
telling you is if there wasn't some deep feeling down in those recipes, it wouldn't taste like that.
Then respect to you all who cook. Guess what? I don't. I just eat.
I'm trying to teach you how to cook. I just need to teach you how to chop stuff in a fancy way, and you'll be looking like you're, you know, I don't know, Julia Childs. More or whatever. I don't know what she sounds like. She sounds like Grimace going down the drain. I don't know what that sound was, but I'm happy it came out. Oh, are you happy that it came out that the MLB has also used the juicing balls for Aaron Judge?
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. The Pujols balls, they started throwing those to Aaron Judge too.
They probably did. He's now triple crowning.
Yeah, because they want. Well, here's the other thing. It's like either that or they're like signaling pitches to him from center field or something like that. Because the other thing is, while they're trying to get all these steroid guys moving down the list, they're also trying to get these old races guys for people to forget about. They're like Babe Ruth. They're like, I think it's about time for him to kind of move on down the list here a little bit. Let's go Aaron Judge. But the problem is it's going to be like found out that he's been juicing too and
Probably.
all that kind of good stuff.
You think he's going to hit 3 versus the Red Sox this weekend to get to 63? Because 62 is the number, really. Like I know.
Knowing your sports prowess right now, he'll probably hit 4 against the Red Sox.
And you knowing the MLB wants to celebrate, he'll definitely probably hit 4 or 5.
He's gonna have a corked bat. Yeah, when was the last time Aaron Judge and Albert Pujols' bats were checked? They check all these pitchers for all these substances. When was the last time you weighed a bat?
They ain't weighing Pujols. You think they would weigh Pujols?
Hell no, that thing is 17 ounces.
They try to get Pujols to 700. Please, Pujols, get to 700.
It sounds like you're knocking on a screen door when he hits the fucking ball.
They might get him to 700, and they might win the World Series.
I think they just have Aaron Judge's balls, just like wiffle balls wrapped in leather. It's just like, here you go, buddy.
You should have seen these dudes fighting for the ball last night. It's only 60. It's 15 games left. He's going to hit more home runs. 60 is not going to be that important no more.
Okay, who's pitching for the Red Sox in this first game against the Yankees?
Stinkier, and the stinkiest.
Okay,
like,
give me Stinky.
Know.
Who's the first one?
I don't know who's pitching in this series. I don't.
Okay, well, whoever the first one is, if they're a true Red Sox and they want to be good, they would beat him so hard that he can't come back. And not like beat him in like the shin. Like somewhere where it's just like he can't plant. And you're like, oh, I never really, don't go for his head or anything. Go for somewhere in the legs where you can't plant. And it's like, all right, boy, hit those upper body warning track shots. Let's see if you can jerk one out.
That's why I couldn't play a game like that, because I'd probably be down with the bean ball, bro.
Oh, for sure, I would be. I was such a terrible pitcher, like it came out on accident anyway, so I could easily play it off. It's like, oops, there goes another. Did you keep track of any of the MLB rule changes that just went down? They just slid under the radar.
Yeah, they definitely slid under the radar, bro.
So basically, the 3 that caught my eye were the defensive shift. So now you can't have more than 2 infielders on either side of second base. Yeah, until the ball is in play, then they can run.
Is that going now, or is that just a playoff rule?
No, that's going into effect next season.
Okay.
And then the bases are going to be a little bit bigger, which I'm cool with. Like, let's keep these guys safe. Give them more room on the bag to.
Oh, that's what this for? Safety?
I don't even know what it's for, but that's what I'm getting out of it, so I don't care. Like, I'm like, okay, there's more room for them to go inside, outside, feet away from hands, and give them a little. It's like 4.5 inches closer from like second base to home plate. Like, it's nothing. Each base is like 1.25 inches, bigger on either side. So it's not significant. So I think that's a good idea. And then here's okay, I need your opinion on this one because I am not happy with this. Who would have guessed? Big B, unhappy. Pitchers only get 2 throwovers or 2 step-offs on the mound per batter. So if they throw over twice, you can basically just steal. You could just start running and the pitcher's or your lead can be like 6 steps instead of 3.
But if you start running, that's not a throw over no more, so he can still throw you out.
Yeah, but he would, I know, but he has to throw it to the catcher first. And then the catcher would either have to throw it to first base or second base. It's a weird rule, man.
Yeah, because of the bulk rule. So I don't know. That's bullshit.
Yeah, I think so too.
You can't throw over how many times you fucking want.
You should be able to. I think so too. If anything, like, I don't know, count them as pitches and limit their pitch count. I don't know. I don't know how you deal with that, but I think that's stupid. I think they're overcorrecting. Like, they did something good with the batters to where they're like, you can't step out of the box for this amount of time. Like, their time in the box is limited. It went down or something like that. But that being said, the pitcher should be able to throw over however many times they want. If you got somebody
what they're trying to do is shorten these games because they're not getting that money.
I know, but still, dude, it's like...
It all comes back to the money, Brenda.
I don't care for it, dude. Whatever.
No, I'm a baseball fan now, so I don't care for it either. Back when I wasn't a fan, it wouldn't have mattered. But now I'm actually a fan, like it matters.
Well, we are both big fans. You are bigger than me, bigger than most fans of the NFL. And before we dive in,
the NFL.
You're not a fan of the NFL?
Of the Cowboys. I'm a fan of the Cowboys.
You are just...
I just want to correct,
You're a little smart
some shit the
today,
NFL, because the NFL itself, the entity, I could go on like a hour-long rant about the NFL, the entity itself, especially the fucking dickhead commissioner that they got. But I ain't gonna do that because then that'll take up the whole show. But the inconsistency in which they suspend people and all that they have control is just crazy. It's just fucking crazy.
Well, speaking of which, like, all these teams are getting renamed and canceled and all this stuff. When are the Chiefs going to get canceled?
Nothing, because they have a chief that hangs out with the team, so they're good. Like, it makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
It doesn't add up, man. Like, it doesn't add up. Like, they suspend Zeke with no charges for 60 games. Then
they don't like black guys with nose piercings and belly shirts, Mike.
Deshaun, 11 games for 27 accusations, or however many accusations, which are just accusations. He never got locked up. But then Belichick gets charged. Not Belichick, the owner gets charged.
Robert Kraft.
The owner.
Yeah.
The owner gets charged in some shit, and guess what they do? They don't do nothing but fine him money when he makes billions and throw away the tape. What?
Yeah.
What? Huh? They've had people in the NFL play NFL games after facing murder charges.
I know.
Like, NFL.
They're like, well, he hasn't been charged yet, and we need a middle linebacker.
No, like murderers, bro. Like,
I know.
2. Just crazy.
Well, yeah.
Huh? That's just 2
2 on the books. Yeah, I'm saying.
That's just
I was trying to let you say that. You follow through on that one, but okay, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I guess I'll take the bullet on that one. Thanks, Mike.
But so like that, the entity itself. But I enjoy it.
Okay, well then, hopefully you have a little bit of insight since you'd never watch it enough.
I do watch it too much.
I know. Well then, you bastard. 2 teams: Miami Dolphins and New York Giants. 2-0. Are they for real? Either, both, neither.
I don't think the Giants. I think the Giants are the. Who was it? Started 4-0 last year, and then they just fell off the planet. But I think that's probably what the Giants are going to do. Start off 3-1, something nice. Then they're probably going to fall off the planet. The defense I don't think the defense has sustainability. The offense they have talent. Besides Daniel Jones, like the offensive line is first
I love that you
picks.
say besides their quarterback, they're talented.
Yeah, but if you have enough talent around him and let him to distribute the ball, like they have legit talent on the outside. Yeah. They have Tony and Shepard and Galladay. I mean, like, and that's not even counting the 86 dude Slayton. So they got legit. They got Barkley. The offensive line is pretty good. Daniel Jones just distribute the ball. The offense can be good, but the defense, like I don't.
Yeah.
Besides their front 4, I don't know their linebacking core, like who they are, and the secondary is built up off of like their best secondary dude, the dude from Tennessee, the little like USC kid. Man, they don't put us here. Nobody like
Yeah, they
they
couldn't
can be
stop
had.
toddlers at recess. They're garbage.
They could be had. But
What about
Miami was
Miami?
like, I mean, Miami's legit. I think I picked them in our pick. I think I picked Miami for that division. No, I picked Buffalo, but
Yeah.
Miami's gonna give them
Yeah,
a
you
scare.
did say Miami was going to tear it up, though.
Yeah, Miami's gonna give them a scare. Just, I mean, this is the NFL with the new NFL and how everything's so wide open with those two dudes running around.
Yeah.
Like, and Gasecki, like it's gonna be hard to like. And their defense was already legit last
Yeah,
year. Like
already
they had the
good.
top 10.
Yeah, if
Yeah, they
Tua
had the
can
top
just
10
put it where it
defense.
needs to go, then
Yeah,
those guys will make the plays.
and they're missing another top. Like they got Byron Jones on the other side who's coming back, so they'll have Byron Jones and the X Man. They have two safeties. I really like the young boy from Oregon. I like him a lot. They got, they got the pass rusher from the U. What's his name? Phillips. The defense is legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think they got a chance for sustainability, man.
Yeah, I think they may be a problem in the first round of the playoffs, but, they're not built for longevity or
No, I mean
anything.
you're not
And the
built for
Giants, honestly,
longevity
you know what the
with
Giants
Tua
feel
as your
like?
quarterback.
The Giants right now feel like, it's like the first game of the season in, let's say, like college football, and you got like a top 5 ranked team, and then they got like a lower seed or not even a seeded team, like beating the brakes off them or giving them business for like the first quarter, and then they come back and like stomp on them. Like, oh, okay, we just need to get in rhythm. That feels like the New York Giants for the entire season. It's like first like 2 to 4 games, like everybody's just getting their footing still because nobody's playing preseason anymore and OTAs everybody's skipping. So it's like it's gonna take 3 weeks to flush out, what's going on here. And then it's like,
Well,
oh, and then we're gonna destroy you because we got our personnel figured out now.
yeah, well, they got a chance versus because we played them on Monday and we're the backup quarterback, so they got a chance. But I like Cooper. I like Cooper's chances versus the Giants because that defense is
All right,
not.
well, let's go to the next kind of tier of like, I don't know, just interesting teams to me. And we'll start with Philly.
Philly's legit.
You think Philly's legit, huh?
Philly is scary. I'm not gonna lie. As the Cowboys fan and the NFC East, I legit. I thought we would have. I thought Jalen Hurts would be the downfall of them, and we would have like the quarterback position give us the division.
Me
But
too.
with Dak hurt and Jalen playing like this,
Do you
they're
think
pretty
Jalen's
good.
gonna
Now,
be able to sustain it though?
I don't know because like week one they play that defense is not that good. Like they played the Lions, and the Lions gave up 20 some odd points to the Redskins too. So it's not like that defense is shut down. And then the Vikings, they play the same coverage all day. So if you know the coverage, like
There's
it's
pockets.
possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you know what I'm saying? It's possible. And then they're also not getting any pressure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I gotta see a defense, but I can't take it away. Jalen's balling. You should have had Jalen again this year. Because Jalen's balling.
All right, so what about your Dallas Cowboys? How do you feel about these swindlers now? What's your
schedule
Cowboy
is
state of mind?
The schedule gives me hope. The schedule gives me
So
hope.
you're still hoping that Dak comes back and you guys make a playoff run?
Oh, we're gonna make a playoff run because
This guy.
according to Jerry, Dak's gonna miss. Well, he'll be back week 5 or so. That's 12 games.
I
Left.
really need to, I don't know like what happened with my travel or something, but I need to get back on your cycle.
What do
Your
you mean?
mental menstrual cycle, because I'm like, oh, last week you hated the Cowboys and Dak was the worst in the history of the world. And then this week you're like, oh no, yeah. We're gonna make the playoffs. It's just a matter of I just gotta get back on track with your mood and your Cowboys. So they get a win with Cooper who gives a butt, and then now you're
Yeah,
back
but
on
that's when
board.
I thought he was gonna be out 8 weeks.
You were
Jerry said he'd
you
be
were
back,
drowning.
be out by week
You got
5.
a little tiny bit of air, and now you're like, oh, okay. Not only are we gonna survive, we're gonna win the surfing championship of the world.
I mean, I don't know if we're gonna win the championship, but Jerry said he only gonna be out till week 5, so he will make the playoffs. I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
Probably a wild card. I don't know. I gotta see the Eagles versus us first. They look pretty good right now, though.
How do you feel about my Niners?
Trash.
Trash. Why? You don't think
They're
they
so much
upgraded at quarterback?
They definitely did. I mean, I was about to say that they're so much better now than they were a week ago.
I know.
Shit.
You know what though?
Like anybody who wants to beat up on the Niners was like, keep Trey in here, keep that guy in here, and we're fine. This is like
what's funny is after all this, it may end up that like Jimmy G gets the big contract he wanted, but from the 49ers, they signed him to like a 6-year deal or something. That would be awesome if it just came all for full circle. But I think that Trey Lance, honestly, I mean, I'm glad that he is out. Like, that guy is not. He's just not.
And the suck thing is, if Garoppolo has a good season, can you do this again? Him coming off a fully broken ankle?
No, at that point, you trade Trey Lance and you keep Jimmy G and just say, I'm sorry, we'll get you more porn stars and figure this thing out.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild situation because that boy now has played 2 football games in 3 years.
You know what's going to be really, really crappy? And I can't believe I'm about to speak this out there. Is you know who's ready to pay him next year? Is Indianapolis.
Oh, they're going to pay him.
They're willing to. Jim Irsay, he's like, okay, we'll take our better looking version of a decent quarterback. I'll pay him.
Bro, if Trey wouldn't have got hurt and their season ended up, they might have traded for him like this year.
Yeah,
like they have the money because they don't pay anybody. Indy pays nobody. They need receivers.
Darius Leonard, that's about it.
Yeah, but because Pittman got hurt, so they don't really have. They pay like the guard guy who was pretty good.
But here's the thing about Trey Lance. Although I'm glad he's out, not glad how he got, removed from action, but his coaches failed him. Okay? I'm sorry. I love Kyle Shanahan, but his coaches failed him because they embraced him as a runner. And they're like, hey, we'll add in other layers and elements to your game. Instead of just going, what?
They were about to RG3 him. What are you talking about?
I know, but I'm saying that he already has that natural talent, okay? Why don't you focus last year on his pocket passing, his presence, his throwing accuracy, all of these things. Work on the things he's not good at. That way, when he gets into situations, he can rely on his natural ability. And you can also have plays drawn up for that, but work on the other stuff instead of just hammer home, hey, man, half the plays are going to be for you, and half the plays were going to be, designated for somebody else.
Is to win. And there's no need to try to.
I'm just saying they didn't do Trey Lance any favors, like if you want to be great, you got to go left, Mike.
Yeah, but except for they were trying to make them Super Bowl winning. They were.
I know they're going to chew them up and spit them out. After the first year, they realized they had garbage. They're like, we're gonna Ohio State running back this kid. We are gonna chew him up and spit him out. We just need one Super Bowl out of this dude, and then peace out, brother.
Oh. Because listen, they know how to make the offense work with somebody. You don't have to be accurate. RG3.
You don't have to care about them as a person. You can just win, baby.
You don't have to be accurate either, man. You just have, because the windows are going to be so big due to the running game. You just have to be able to see it. If you can see it, which is what they were coaching him just to see it off this play fake. When that linebacker moves, throw it past his ear. You can do that. I've seen your rifle arm throw it past the ear, and the receivers we have take slants for 60.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the offense. And they built a juggernaut in RG3. Literally, RG3 had it was an amazing year. He wasn't that accurate of a throw. Because even at Baylor, he threw mostly gold. If people understand the wide receiving core that he played with at Baylor.
He just threw it 40 yards down the field and, in the middle, and one of 2 receivers would get it because they're crossing over it.
People were like, RG3 won the Heisman. RG3 played with 3 NFL receivers at Baylor, and you went blurry.
I know. I'm trying to come back right now.
Okay.
There it is. Look at that action,
Yeah,
Jackson.
he played with three NFL receivers. He played with Josh Gordon. He played with the guy who played with the Cowboys, Terrence, whatever,
Williams.
83. Yeah, Terrence Williams, and the guy who was ended up at right. They ended up with the Titans. Like they were loaded.
Kenny Wright.
And the offensive lineman ended up getting drafted like first round, second, like no said like early. Like it was he had his pickings in there. It was throw it long, and one of these big fast guys will get it. And if not, the little short guy running these intermediate routes, he'll be open. Like
Well,
he had it
speaking
built
of
for him.
greatness in football, they announced a Hall of Fame NFL nominees, and it's one of the very few Hall of Fames that I'm still like, yeah, okay, this is a real thing. Um, so real quickly, we'll run through the first time ballot, and you can tell me yes or no, and if we disagree, then we can debate. Uh, Joe Thomas,
First ballot.
100%. Darrell Revis.
I believe first ballot. Some people might say his career was too short, but first ballot to me.
Yeah, I see. That's one of those biggie situations. Like, yeah, it was too short, but he was better than everybody else. So at the time, so what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Even if he wasn't better
Hmm.
than everybody else, one of the best. So I don't know. I'm on board with it, but as long as he got in, if it wasn't first ballot, if it was like next year, I'd be like, okay, that's cool. But anything more, like he deserves to get in. So anything more than 2 years is too
He
long.
definitely does that again.
Dwight Freeney.
Hmm. I don't think he should go first ballot. If this is
I'm
his
a
first time on the ballot,
yes. These are all
then
first timers who I'm reading right now.
I don't think he should go in.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think he should go in at all, to be honest.
I mean, his sack numbers say he's the Hall of Famer eventually down the road, but there are too many great pass rushers who had to
This is
wait
the Hall
down
of
on first
Fame. Now
ballot.
that there are so many people in, it should be more exclusive than ever.
You know, like Dion said, there should be an extra room for like the extra exclusive, but there isn't. So
Well, because you
we're
have to
talking
take into account like inflation of stats. So just instead of
But
having
Dwight
different,
Freeney didn't play in an inflation of stat era.
I know, but I'm saying like, you compare, quarterback numbers, let's say. I'm not saying Dwight Freeney in particular. I'm just saying as a general rule for the Hall of Fame. Like you have quarterback numbers that are going to be unmatched to, I mean, for crying out loud, like
Yeah, they're gonna have to reinvent the stats for
Derek
those
Carr
people.
is going to be up on the list with, Johnny Unitas, and it's like, hang on a second. Like, you have to adjust for statistical inflation.
You
And with
do.
that being said, Dwight Freeney, sorry, kid, you don't make the
I mean, but
list.
there's no statistical. He played
I
16 games like
understand, but
everybody
of the
else.
same milk, like, you have to be elite. And while he was great, it wasn't like, I don't know. I don't know. You
He's
didn't
pretty
have to.
good, but I don't think I'm with you. He shouldn't be first ballot.
If we have to have this long of a conversation, it's too long. Too much.
Yeah, he shouldn't. He shouldn't be a first ballot.
Chris Johnson,
Not a first
C2K.
ballot Hall of Fame. No.
No way. Not even a Hall of Famer to me. Jari
His
Evans.
numbers. His numbers might get him in
I
eventually.
know, yeah, that 2,000-yard season, but no.
No, but he's an 11,000 yard back. Like there are
I know.
10,000 yard backs in the Hall of Fame. So.
I know, but again, this is my Hall of Fame picks. Jari Evans.
I don't know who that is. So
He's
no,
some
come on.
offensive lineman. I don't know who he is either. Navarro Bowman.
Oh, Navarro Bowman, that's like my person. That's my guy. Like I know him personally. Shout out to Bo.
Well, I
don't know if
obviously
he's-
love him.
I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
He's
I
definitely
don't-
not first ballot.
I don't think he's a Hall of Famer either. Although you're a Hall of Famer in my heart, Navarro. You bow man. James Harrison.
James Harrison,
Ooh.
he's a name. I don't know if he's number worthy.
See, and to me, he was enough of a presence on the football field. Like, he reminds me of a new age Mean Joe Green. Like, he was out there doing his thing and leading his team. So much so that when it was like he retired, it's like, oh man, this dude's coming back. But he came back for multiple years and like had a couple of his better years. He had, his Twilight run was fantastic, and he really helped the Steelers be relevant. At least their defense, because it was in shambles. So
Yeah, no,
I think
not a
he's
Hall
one
of
of
Famer.
those. He's one of those guys that earns it on merit instead of stats.
Yeah, he'll get it eventually on merit, but your stats don't. Stats make you a first ballot.
He gets
Like,
in for me.
They need to go in like Joe Thomas.
Yeah,
10 years in the league, 10
Gangster.
years first team All Pro. Those are stats that tell me you're going to be a first ballot.
He has
There's
more
nobody's
pancake
gonna-
blocks in one season than most people will
That's
ever
it.
play. Get in Madden.
Revis, 3 years in a row, you shut down the elite of the elite. Didn't matter who. What,
Okay,
when,
hang
like
on. We're
that's the
almost
type
done.
of stuff
We're
that-
almost done. Cam
Oh,
Chancellor.
Hell no.
Hell no. Suck a butt.
Your
kid.
boy messed that up for them.
Oh yeah, he sure enough did. Richard Sherman. Shane Leckler, the punter.
No, not Richard Sherman, the coach. He
Oh.
messed up that legacy.
Oh yeah. The Pete
He
Carroll.
didn't want to see Marshawn grab his dick.
I hate him so much. Not Marshawn. I love Marshawn. But,
He
Shane
did
Leckler.
that shit because he knew what Marshawn was going to do when he scored.
yeah.
Shane Leckler is a very good punter, probably the best of our generation, but he's a punter, so he can't go in first ballot.
Yep. Thank you. Okay, just some names that are on the ballot from previous years. I don't really know or care when they were, but I just want to see if you think they should get in. Jared Allen.
No,
Why? Because I'm on the fence.
he's just not as good as they. He was a hard worker who put in a lot of years and ended up with some decent numbers, but they're not like Hall of Fame numbers. Like he had like a
Got
4
you.
or 5
I'm
year
sold.
run.
So in a similar ilk, Zach Thomas. I love Zach Thomas though, man.
I love him as a player, and
He
he
was-
has numbers. He has Hall
He
of
was
Fame
the defense
numbers.
by himself for so
He
many
had-
years.
Zach Thomas has Hall of Fame numbers. I don't know if he has Hall of Fame impact though,
I know.
because his team never did
His
anything
team
or they never won.
sucked.
They always sucked and so on and so
He was
forth.
the Mike
But as
Trout
far as-
of football.
As far as Hall of Fame numbers, he was putting up 150, 100 plus tackles.
Because he was the only person
Like-
on the Dolphins tackling anybody.
Zach's gonna be tough. Zach's gonna eventually get in.
I
just
hope
for the
so,
record.
because I think for him it's been a while. It's got to have been like 5 or 6 years now.
Yeah. He'll be.
Okay, and then the next two are homers, but we'll see. Pat Willis.
Pat, it's years. Pat should have been in, but he didn't play enough years.
It doesn't
Pat,
matter.
as
He
far
was a
As far
game
as
changer.
greatness, Pat was great. Pat was all time great.
Yes.
He just didn't play long.
From
If
the
Pat
minute
paid-
he stepped on the field,
absolutely. If Pat paid 2 more years, this wouldn't be a question. He would have been.
he'd be in the conversation for like top 10 linebackers of all time, middle linebackers.
Yeah, 2 more years, and he would have been.
But he
first
wanted to
ballot,
save his
no
brain.
doubt.
Good for him.
He wanted to save his leg, man.
Yeah, whatever. And then your boy,
I don't know
DeMarcus
why
Ware.
he's not already winning.
I know.
I
He
don't know
should
why
be in.
If it wasn't, maybe last year was his first ballot and they didn't want to make him a first ballot, which I can understand because he switched teams and all that. But it shouldn't take him more than 5 times to get in. That's bullshit if it does.
Right on.
His numbers, he has a Super Bowl, he has all pros, he does everything. He does all the credentials. To hell with that. Marcus Ware is a great. That's my guy.
Well, let's transition to the fun competition stuff. I want to see. Do you want to make a deal, a fantasy football trade? Because your team sucks, and my team is epic.
My team sucks.
I mean,
I think
you're
I've been projected to get more points than you 2 weeks in a row, and I'm missing one of my starting quarterbacks.
Listen,
Like,
you got to get
I'm
this
out here-
projected
I'm out here
points
kicking-
argument off of my table because I'm not serving it anymore.
I mean, until we play, all I can go off projection. Last week, I won my game with Mariota at quarterback.
I have
What are you
okay.
talking about?
Just to put it in perspective for
and I had a
people.
guy in the game that had 0 because I forgot to take him out.
Listen,
So let's just put it in perspective.
that just means you're a terrible fantasy football manager. So
No,
you're
no,
in
'cause they
eighth
waited last
place.
minute.
You're in 8th place in our league. You're 1-1. You've scored 239 points. Good for you. I'm 2-0. I'm in first place, and I've scored 345. So you've scored about 2/3 the amount of points that I have.
And I missed the dude last week. Don't worry.
I don't care. But listen, that being said, would you make a trade with me? Do you want to try and work out a deal?
Trade?
Yeah.
What the hell you mean work out a deal? I don't
Do you
know.
want to trade with me? Do you want to try and trade with me?
I don't want to. You don't have anybody, bro. Like, who
I
would I
don't have
trade for?
anybody. I score. Okay. I scored 200 points in our league last week. And if you score like 150, usually, that's pretty solid and you should win. 200 is almost unheard of. I think it's maybe happened like a handful of times. So you're
Yes,
talking
because
to me
everybody
about
on
my
your
team being garbage.
No, they're not garbage. What I'm saying is your starting team is pretty good based on last week. Like,
Based
how many
on
times you
last
think Bateman's going to have the game that he had?
Do
Bateman had
you
it.
want to try and trade with me? Yes or no? It's a very simple question, and then we can look at it.
Who do you
Yes
want to
or
trade
no,
with?
do you even want to go down this path? Are you willing to execute something?
I'm always willing to go
Okay,
down this path
so
if it makes sense.
I want your team kind of sucks, but I would take Dalvin Cook. I would take Dalvin Cook, and I would be willing to give you.
Man, I don't want anybody on your team for Dalvin Cook.
Okay, good.
This is a pretty,
I don't need him, but you know.
You definitely need Dalvin Cook now. Okay, so let me explain to our audience why you've been on such on fire. I'm not going to go through your whole
Oh, because
team,
I know how to
but
pick a good team.
you don't know how to pick a good team. These dudes have literally
What?
had their in the first two games.
What are you? Okay, Mike, hang on. Before you explain what I'm doing wrong,
Hold on.
explain to me the rules of fantasy football and what the goal is. Is it to score the most points and pick the players that you assume are going to do that? Because
So
if that's the goal, I am untouchable, son. I'm 6-0 this year.
Let me
Both
take my
weeks
words
3-0.
back.
I'm outscoring people by a third of their
Let me take
points.
something back. Let me take something back.
Take
You
it
do
all
know how to
back.
pick-
You're
you
in
do know
my
how to pick a
space
fantasy
now.
football team.
The champ is
But-
here.
But with that said, this isn't because you pick some like all-world fantasy football team. This is
You're
because
damn good.
six people on your team have had the greatest games of their careers.
So I
Through
picked
week
the
two
right
of
horses at the
NFL.
right time, is what you're saying.
Through the week.
That's what gambling
Literally.
is, Michael.
Without going
Maybe
down
this is
your
why you're
list.
terrible at it. You don't understand what
No,
what
you
the
just got
goal
lucky
is.
in the first 2 weeks. This
Lucky.
is a marathon.
I'm
not
the
a sprint,
champion,
bro.
and I've scored the most points the first 2 weeks. This is
a
consistency,
marathon, not
son.
A sprint. Marathon, not a sprint, man. Marathon, not a sprint. I've had
You
three
aren't even
dudes
paying
injured
up your
already.
bets.
I've had 3 dudes injured already, and you've had 6 dudes have their career highs already. All right, so let's come
My
back to the
first
medium a bit.
pick at running back, my second pick at running back went out in the second quarter of the first game. So don't talk to me about injuries.
I don't know who that is.
Elijah Mitchell for the Niners.
He was going to share carries with the guy you had anyway, so it wasn't. It was
Whatever, dude. You talk all your stuff. You're not. Here's the thing that I can always count on with you. You're not going to get the thing done. You're not going to get yourself shaved up by the time we play in 2 weeks. So you're not even gonna. You're gonna be Dax Dingleberries forever.
That shit sounds good, but it sounds good. It sounds really good.
Yeah, because your team is shit. They're little pieces of shit. They're not even big, stinky logs where you're like, oh man, at least they went for it. No, you're just like terrible at what you do in the fantasy football realm. So we just go ahead, keep not paying up. I'll just keep blasting your ass.
I love hearing this yap. I love hearing this yap from you, bro. Because when I kick your ass in 2 weeks, you're gonna get your ass kicked by a shaved butt black guy. He's gonna kick your ass in fantasy. He's gonna change his name back to what he's really gonna change it to. And I've already
thought of that's where Seal got his name from, because his ass is as smooth as a seal?
I don't know how smooth a seal is.
He definitely waxed his ass. He was married
and I think seals are mammals, so they probably got hair, dude.
Were you a Heidi Klum guy?
Who the hell is Heidi Klum?
Seal's ex-wife.
Oh,
Like
the model chick.
Yeah. She was like the hottest thing on the market there for a few years. And everybody's like, really? You're with fucking acid face? What's going on here? You know, that's one of those that didn't seem right situations. All right, man. Well, besides football, are you delving back into anything? You watching anything, or are you strictly sports?
Oh no! I'm watching. I still watch. Big Brother is about to come to an end. So
oh, thank goodness!
No, to get us a winner there.
Is
And
Michael
then,
still available?
No, he got backdoored, bro. They got
Oh
him.
man.
They got
Watch
him.
your clean
But
ass.
they knew. They knew. They were like, "Yo, we can't beat him, so we gotta backdoor him.
We
gotta
can't
get
beat him,
down."
so we have to get him out of the game, which is technically
The point of the game.
beating him. So yeah, weird how that happens on a show. What else you got cooking on the televisor?
Did you ever watch or listen to the podcast about the murder Adnan Saeed dude?
No, I don't know
Oh,
who
he
that
got
is.
He got released, bro.
Cool.
Which is wild because I always.
Is it a good doc?
Yeah, it's definitely a good doc.
What's it on? What's it called?
I want to say HBO or just type in his name, Adnan Saeed. You probably can find it on YouTube.
Okay. In the same ilk, I saw that Dahmer was on Netflix, a new Jeffrey Dahmer doc. Are you gonna watch something like that?
No.
Me neither. I thought you loved serial killers.
Yeah, but not wanting to eat people. I'm good. I'm good on that. Okay. They might try to get too graphic with that, and I'd throw up my whole life. Like,
speaking of barfing, Mark Wahlberg has a new movie on Netflix too called Father Stew, where he's like a priest that boxes. Or I couldn't even read the 3-sentence synopsis. I was like, hot garbage. Hot garbage.
Hot garbage.
Because Netflix does these deals where they sign like Sandler and Wahlberg to these like 3, 5, 10 movie deals, and it's like you just got. I don't care what you do, just crank one out. Crank one out. Hour and 24 to hour and 46, somewhere in there will be fine. You know what I mean? Like, ugh. Are you a Mark Wahlberg fan?
Yes, that's my guy.
Marky Mark.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hit and miss. I either love him or I'm like, hard pass.
Why are you? I mean, yeah, he makes some not so great movies.
He makes some trash can movies.
But they sell Wahlburgers, man. Have you ever had a Wahlburger?
I have once. It was a good burger. I don't care. I don't like a burger place that takes your picture. Like, that's... like, nobody cares about your cardboard frame. Like, you think I'm going to put this on the mantle?
Why wouldn't you?
Next to the other family photos, us hawking down a burger because you walk up right as we're eating. Like, that's what... Say cheese for Wahlburgers! Cheese on your burgers! I don't even know if that's their saying, but that's probably what they do, something annoying like that. I don't care for it. Is what I'm trying to say, Mike. I don't care for it. I don't really care for scary movies anymore either. Are you going to start watching some scary movies now that it's Halloween-ish time, or are you that...
Nope.
Do you like scary movies, though?
No, they're pointless. I don't get scared.
Okay.
So what the fuck? I ruined myself from scary movies as a child, but it was the way to stop myself from getting scared. So now
I feel
I don't get scared no more. I'm sorry, I used to be scared of scary movies, so I had to learn the hard way that they're just
I'm
movies.
I'm scared of scary movies because I had kids. So it was like I used to go to scary movies with like my dad or my brother would go, and we would just cackle, laugh at how ridiculous it was, and other people freaking out and screaming. Like we would just laugh, ruin movies for other people's completely. Like people leave the theaters, didn't care. And then I had kids, man, and I was like, I couldn't watch a scary thing because I'm like, it just puts more ideas in my head. Like even if it's not kid related, it's like, how do I protect my child from this happening to them? And it's like, I don't think I need to worry about this thing coming out of the closet and oozing up the drain. However, I don't know what's out there, so I gotta hedge my bets here and worry about it constantly. Yeah, for no reason.
It's like, yo, these are all movies. None of this shit is real. So every time I'm like, bro, look, that's a funny ass movie.
Well, you know what was a funny ass movie and a good one was A League of Their Own.
Pretty good movie.
And there's a series now. I think it's on Amazon Prime or Hulu or one of these situations. How do you feel about them turning all these movies into series like way later? Star Wars, A League of Their Own, all these things.
They can make money off of it. I ain't mad. Make your money, bro.
Who do you identify with most in the A League of Their Own?
I don't identify with none of them.
Why?
Because they women.
Jimmy Dugan's not a woman. Oh, Henry Bars isn't a woman.
Oh, Henry Bar.
Or whatever that guy's name is. The old funny guy.
I remember the context of it. I don't remember every character of the League of Their Own.
Oh. I think I'm Madonna.
Pretty
All the way May.
Madonna.
Yeah.
You want to be Madonna?
No, just in that movie. I'm kind of hit and miss on Madonna. Again, it's kind of like I either love it or it's just 100% not for me.
No, you gotta love Madonna. You know, she's like legend.
I know, but I love some of her stuff. I hate some of her stuff. If you tell me you like that music video where she's in the back of the limo with a fucking disco ball and a cowboy hat and the music is a dancing, or the rhythm is a music and dancing, and
I don't know what you're talking about.
And the bullets better not be next to the gun because this song is something's gonna go south, and it's not the song of the South. That's decent. Used to be. So anyway, that got me thinking though. I like baseball. I love baseball in general, but I love baseball movies. Do you like baseball movies at all?
Okay.
I wanted to know. I didn't even know if you would have 5, but I wanted to see it. Top 5 baseball movies.
Top 5 baseball.
Is how we'll wrap up this week.
I like The Rookie. The Rookie was a good movie.
With Dennis Quaid?
Dennis Quaid. Dang. I can't think of the name of the baseball movie.
It's okay. Start describing it. I'll probably know.
What's your boy from The Matrix, man? He's coaching the little black kid.
Oh, yes. I have the movie. I can see the cover. Hardball.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're good,
Keanu Reeves is, I'm telling you, baseball movies are my thing. So, yeah, that one, Keanu Reeves was like in debt gambler and he gets this, shitty South Projects team that he's got to whatever, and then they bond, and it's great. I love that movie.
I'm trying to think. Baseball movies. What other baseball movies can I think of right now? That's what I'm trying to think.
All right. Well, maybe I'll start telling you some honorable mentions of mine because I could. Yeah, I mean, just even 5 was really, really tough for me. So, Cobb. Cobb is a fantastic movie. It's with what's his leather face? Tommy Lee Jones plays Ty Cobb. That's a fantastic movie.
I know who Ty Cobb is. Never seen the movie.
I don't know if basketball counts, but it's the guys that invented South Park, created South Park. They did a movie back when I was in high school, and it's hysterical because it's like their kind of comedy. Bull Durham is a classic. I love Bull Durham. Kevin Costner and Shawshank. White guy. Tim Robbins.
Angels in the Outfield. That's a good
one. Danny Glover action. Angels in the Outfield. Very nice. 8 Men Out. John Cusack, Ray Liotta. It's a good flick about the Black Sox. The 1919 Chicago White Sox that threw the World Series, supposedly. That were supposed to be unbeatable. Field of Dreams is not in my top 5. It's an honorable mention. Darth Vader.
Is not in your top 5.
And Dances with Wolves did not make it. I love the movie. I absolutely adore the movie. But it's a movie that I can watch once a decade. Or
so what is your top 5?
A year.
If Field of Dreams is not in your top 5.
Bad News Bears is also an honorable mention. But so my top 5, in no particular order, because I couldn't do that. I can't. It's depending on my mood. The Natural with Robert Redford, the Wonder Boy Bat. The Sandlot.
Sandlot is that's the one I couldn't think of. That's the one
I was sure that I was gonna say as soon as I said that you were gonna be like, oh yeah, for sure. That's like, do you like Sprite? Oh yeah, I forgot about Sprite. I love soda. I forgot about Sprite. For Love of the Game, another Kevin Costner baseball flick. Also with Kelly Preston.
Baseball flick.
Major League. absolute classic. And Soul of the Game, which came out on
out of my league.
HBO back in the day. It's about like Satchel Paige and Bob Gibson and the Negro Leagues back in the day and stuff. Pretty amazing. It came out, do you remember When We Were Kings? About Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, and there's like 4.
Oh yeah.
It came out at a similar time as that, so it kind of got swept under the rug, but it was a fantastic, fantastic movie. Anyway, all that being said, that's our top 5 baseball movies. Mike doesn't like white people stuff. He just likes to gamble on it.
Why you say I don't like white people stuff? And baseball
Because
isn't white people stuff. That's a sport, man.
I know. Oh, so sports are black people things because it's athletics are involved? That's fucking
It's not
racist.
white people things. It's any color thing. Like you can be any color. Like it has no sports has no color, bro.
Painting is a white people thing, probably.
That's what you think?
It sounds like it, doesn't it?
Van Gogh was like Italian or some shit. I guess they're considered white.
I don't know. Italians is one of those, like, depending on who wants to hate on them, they could be pretty much anything. They're the versatile race for racism. Thanks, Italians. Whoppity doo.
Black people paint too, just for the record.
No, I know a lot of people do, but I'm just saying when if I asked you to like picture a painter.
Depends on what you type of painter. Like if you talk about, it depends.
I think of like an art teacher because I don't know. So I think of some like frizzy haired lady that had a great time in the 70s and then was like, oh, I got to get a real job. And then she's like, well, you only got to go to school for 2 years to be an art teacher. It's either that or home ec. So
yeah, see, my first art teacher was a black guy.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Mr. Chase, man.
I picture art teachers being people that wear like Birkenstocks and,
So you got to change your picture, Brenda. You got to change your picture, man.
All the time. Yeah, I agree. All right, well, that being said, why don't you start us off with a little artistic flavor? You were supposed to pick somebody for our playlist this week. Did you do so?
You said I was supposed to pick. I picked somebody for the playlist last week, but I told you I can always.
Bitch, we had a conversation about. I'm gonna call you out again. You're just gonna get pistol whipped here. You're gonna get buck-eyed until you start being responsible for your actions, sir. Last week we were talking about the playlist. You helped out with the playlist, and the reason why Thames was in my head was because we did that on the playlist like a month ago. And then you gave me so much crap, and you said, I'll do all this stuff. We'll do A to Z. I'll pick one every week. I'll pick an Irish A for next week. And I said, okay, but you got to do your due diligence. You got to make sure you check them out too. And you said, I'm going to do that for sure. So not only did you not do your due diligence, you didn't even look in the first place, son. You didn't even put your shoes on.
And the thing about it is...
Yeah, look at you searching like a crazy person right now.
I ain't searching nothing,
I'm not trying... No, I'm not... Look at you. I'm looking at you. Now people are going to have to go to the end of this episode and watch you on YouTube and then look at you lean back like you ain't trying to still look at that. What are you looking at? Come on.
I'm looking at you, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I have an A artist. I couldn't find an A Irish artist because there aren't any. But I have an
There aren't any, you lying sack of dog nuts. Okay, whatever.
They're any good.
Okay, who's that? I'm just going to go backwards from you because I have to. So what's A? What are we doing for A?
Adele. What else? She's the greatest.
Adele. The greatest?
And what I was looking at is that like her album sold the greatest numbers.
So what? Yeah, hence you lying sack of shit because you just searched best music artists starting with A, and it's like Adele sold the most records. It's top of the list. And you're like, Adele, bomb.
That's not what happened. I searched Adele to see if she was Irish. I have Adele on my iPad. Like I'll be on my phone. I don't need to search.
Oh yeah,
Adele.
now it's on a different device. Look at you backing up.
I have both
you
of
would
her.
be terrible in an interrogation room. Remind me to never commit a crime with you.
You know, You know why I wouldn't be terrible in the interrogation room? Because I
you're
know
a
what to do in
snitch.
the Because I know what to do in the interrogation room.
Because you
See?
don't follow through with your punishments. So you're like, I can't do time. I'll sing like a bird. Red Robin.
Yeah.
Yum.
I don't sing. I don't talk to police. I don't talk to pigs, bro. Get my
Yeah.
lawyer, and that's all I know. That's the only words I know. Lawyer.
Yeah, you tell my lawyer, settle! Saddle, saddle,
Lawyer.
saddle, saddle.
Lawyer.
Yeah.
What's your name? Lawyer. What? Can we get you something to drink? Lawyer.
Yeah.
What
Lawyer
question?
up
Lawyer.
and pack all your shit down because you're getting relocated. That's what you would be if we were in cahoots together.
Lawyer.
It's a good thing you're my PIB and not my PIC. Because, buddy boy, I don't know anymore. All right. So you picked Adele. I'm going to go Z. I'm going to say Ziggy
You don't
Marley.
play snitching where I'm from.
Yeah.
No snitching.
Adele and Ziggy Marley is the Spotify playlist of the week. Yeah,
Ziggy
so
Marley.
be good to each other this week. Heads up for comedy. I'm gonna be doing a charity show for trees. It's gonna be somewhere
Hope you got some tree jokes.
I'm gonna write some. That's my job. So it's gonna be at a place called The Good Night. I think it's somewhere in like Burbank or Toluca Lake area. I don't really know for sure, to be honest. Sorry, but I'm gonna look it up the same as you can.
Gonna help people get to the place.
Come
on, Brendan, you gotta be better if you're trying to get people to come see you, bro.
Well, this is a lead up. You can follow me on Instagram because I'll be posting regularly. I'm at Brendala7. Mike is at Black Irish 213. Okay. So. At Black Irish 213. You can follow us at Black Irish Pod. I'm not reposting from there because I'm lazy as shit. So that's going to be October 9th at 6 p.m. That's going to be at the Good Night in, let's call it Burbank. And if you search that, you'll get close enough. October 9th, 6:30. Sorry, doors are at 6:30. I got to be there at 6 because I'm showing up for work. And it's best if you arrive early and prepared. So I'll be there a little bit early. Yeah, so if you want to start checking out where I'm going to be, I'm going to start posting. I'm going to be going out a lot more often, getting on some real shows instead of just these open mics. You know, it's time to level up, sir. So we're going on that route. Otherwise, do something clicky with this show. If you've enjoyed it so far, do something clicky with it. It helps, whether it be a share or a subscribe. Subscribe. You never have to do anything again. Just our Black Irish magic just pops into your world every time you access whatever app it is on your phone. And it won't take up any space on your phone if you don't access the app. So throw us a subscribe. It won't hurt you. It's easy to unsubscribe too. That being said, I love you, dude. Good luck on your fantasy football nonsense. I'm going to keep dominating with the goose egg in the lost column. Keep tromping over all you fools.
If you really believe Armand St. Brown going to keep this up for the whole season, boy, you smoking some good.
You mean like my 7th round pick? Okay. Like, you mean the guy that I'm like, I don't even know if I need him really. If you want to follow the massacre that I ensue and embark, and I'm missing the word that I want to use, so let's just stay here until we find it.
Ain't no word. Because if you talk about what you're gonna do to me, you ain't gonna do shit but get your ass kicked. Part.
I don't know. I'm gonna whoop your ass. Everybody's ass is on notice.
Period.
I love you, buddy.
Smoked you. I love you too, my guy.
Have a good week. Peace.